Hello, everyone. I just wanted to check in with you guys and just wanted to talk a little bit about the Tesla Roadster. So we'll get into that news in just a second. But if you can hear me, if you could go ahead and just let me know in the comments section below so I can make sure that my audio is coming through okay. So if you're on this and you can hear me, let me know if you're able to hear what I'm saying here. So I'll wait just a second. If you haven't been following Twitter, Elon Musk let us know that the Tesla Roadster, of course, it's been delayed several times, but it's going to be delayed till 2023. So I just want to talk about that a little bit, talk about other Tesla topics that you guys want to bring up. So it looks like so far, all good, audio's good, perfect. Is the pink background okay? I've been trying to play with some lighting. I know in some of my videos I've been using blue lighting. Is the kind of pink hue okay? If you can let me know as well for future videos if this hue is okay. Looks fine. Perfect. Okay. Well, let me switch over to the software for just a second. So I'll have a few slides that I'm going to go over, and then I'd love to just chat with you guys if you have any Tesla comments, topics that you'd like to discuss, or anything about the Roadster as well. So just love to talk about that. So let me switch over to the software and we'll talk through this. So many of you might have seen this on Twitter, but Elon Musk put this out earlier this morning, around 10 o'clock this morning. He said, 2021 has been a year of crazy supply chain shortages. So it wouldn't matter if we had 17 new products as none would ship. And this is in response to somebody asking about the Tesla Roadster. And then he said, assuming 2022 is not mega drama, new Roadster should ship in 2022. So of course, that's something that has been delayed before. Earlier this year in January, he mentioned that they were finishing engineering for the Roadster, and they were hoping production was going to start in 2022. And they mentioned that they should have a release candidate drivable late summer. So that they may still have a release candidate that is drivable for this late summer, especially since they have released the Plaid Model S and the tri-motor drive system and powertrain have been proven to be effective. Of course, the Plaid Model S is quite an amazing vehicle. When the Roadster was first announced, of course, in 2017, it was supposed to come out in 2020. And then, of course, that was kind of hinted that it would be probably 2021. And then, of course, earlier this year, that 2022, and now 2023. We'll talk about in just a minute why that's not really a big deal, why the Roadster is important. I think it is important, and I want to talk about that. But I don't think it's a huge deal. One of the big reasons is because, of course, the Roadster is dessert, and like anything, you can eat dessert first, but it can spoil your meal. And Tesla is making sure that they're taking care of the really important things right now. And the important things right now in this difficult time with supply chain shortages, with chip shortages, and all the craziness that's going on in our world right now is to make sure that their core business, especially the Model 3 and the Model Y, that they're shipping as many of those as possible. Of course, we're seeing this with the new Standard Range Plus Model 3 in the United States with the lithium iron phosphate batteries. We see Tesla adjusting a little bit there, using a different battery type since those vehicles are delayed all the way till January of this year in North America, or January of next year in North America if you want a delivery of one of those. And so you see Tesla shifting and adjusting a lot. And one of those adjustments, unfortunately, is to push dessert till later on. Thankfully, though, we have the Tesla Plaid Model S. And so I want to talk about that just for a second. So Tesla's prioritizing deliveries, and of course, despite the shortages, they still have posted some record quarters. And we, of course, have the Model S Plaid, which is quite an incredible vehicle. This is a chart that I've put up in a past video, and I just think it's important to point this out once again. When you look at the cost of the Model S Plaid with a tri-powertrain at $130,000 with a quarter-mile time of 9.23 seconds and a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of just 1.99 seconds, which, of course, that's been proven to be real life. When you look at this incredible vehicle, and as I've talked about in past videos, a vehicle that can hold a family. You can go on trips with this vehicle. It's ultra premium. It has entertainment like no other vehicle, with a PlayStation 5 level infotainment system, streaming video, etc. And when you compare what the Tesla Roadster is planned to be, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, of course, Elon Musk has hinted that he could be down to 1.1 seconds with the SpaceX mode, but even 1.9 seconds. I mean, the Plaid Model S is almost as fast, and it's able to drive around a family and be an everyday driver. So it's quite incredible. That being said, I do believe that the Roadster is important. So I'm going to switch back to just me talking to you for a minute, and I want to talk about why I believe the Roadster is important. And this is a topic that I actually brought up in the past video when I compared the Plaid Model S to some of the other supercars. And the reason I believe the Plaid Model S is important, and also the reason I believe the Roadster is important, is because these are halo cars. You know, a lot of people may think that Tesla is wasting their time. They should be spending all their time trying to make more affordable vehicles, and they are doing that. That is important. The $25,000 Tesla that will come out hopefully sometime soon, that's an important vehicle. The Standard Range Plus Model 3, and even reducing the price of the Model 3 hopefully further in the future at some point. Right now, of course, prices are going up, but hopefully eventually, because of battery costs coming down, that vehicle will become a little cheaper. But it is important that Tesla dominate, I believe, in every segment. There's always going to be an argument if electric vehicles are not as fast as gas-burning vehicles. There's always going to be the argument to keep them around for some people. Obviously, some people don't care about the environment. Some people don't care about those aspects. And that's one thing that is beautiful about Tesla is even if you don't care about the environment, and you should, but even if you don't, you still might want to drive a Tesla because they're very fast. They have a lot of great technology built into them. Oh, and they're also electric. And when it comes to a halo car like the Roadster or even the Plaid Model S, when this vehicle goes out to a drag strip and it just blows away supercars, it's going to be, once again, a nail in the coffin of internal combustion engine vehicles, because why do you need them anymore? I mean, the only reason we have them around right now, mostly because of it's taken a while for people to transition. I think also somewhat cost related still as well. And then also there is still a need in some really large vehicle applications for the internal combustion engine. I agree with that right now, but we're right on the cusp of the technology taking over. But I just want to say that, you know, if the delay of the Roadster is needed for Tesla to achieve their goals, it's not a big deal. Definitely, as anyone who cares about Tesla as a company, they would love to see the Roadster. However, I believe it's not super important that it's delayed. So I think a lot of people agree with that, and I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to switch over to the comments section, and I'm just going to answer some questions. That's really all I had to talk about right now, but I'd love to talk about any other Tesla topics that you have. Of course, it's always fun to jump on a stream. I haven't jumped on that many streams lately. I'd like to jump on some more. So I also want to, at the end, after I do some chatting, I want to talk about a new direction that I'm going to move this channel a little bit. Nothing huge, and I'm going to continue a lot of the same content I have now, but I also want to transition to one other type of content that I'm going to be adding. So I'll talk about that in just a second. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put that in, but I'm going to talk about here. Organica said, no offense, but who can afford a Roadster? I agree. However, while they are expensive and most people cannot afford a Roadster, there are a number of $200,000 plus cars that are sold out in the world right now. And so Tesla, it's great for Tesla to have a place in that market as well. They're not looking to make this obviously a high volume vehicle because a $200,000 vehicle is not a high volume vehicle, but it is a halo car, as I mentioned before. So really important. Yeah, the 25, Jose Saldivar says cars are expensive, period. Teslas ain't cheap either, LOL, but the $25,000 will change the game. Yeah, the $25,000 vehicle will change the game. You know, there are cheaper electric vehicles right now. Like you can buy a low range Nissan Leaf, but the range is so low, and maybe it's a totally fine vehicle, and maybe that's a total, maybe most people don't need as much range as they think, and maybe the Leaf is fine. But, you know, I think most people want a little more range. They want a little better performance. And I believe Tesla is going to be able to deliver a $25,000 vehicle that is still pretty quick and still has hopefully around 200 miles of range. So I'm excited to see that in the future. Nick Joyce says, I don't do electric due to Australia not having the infrastructure in place in rural areas. So Nick, I do understand that definitely. For some long trips that could be an issue. You know, I understand you need fast charging for trips. It could make a good second car if that was available for you, Nick, because you obviously have electricity, I assume, at your house. You could put in, you know, a 220 plus volt system, and you could probably still drive the electric vehicle for much of your travels. So just a suggestion. You probably already know that. So Vipamin, tell us what a realistic build date for the 2.0 Model Y. So yeah, from basically what I've been seeing for the Model Y 2.0, of course, there's been some rumors out there and official word from Elon Musk that there's a possibility that the 4680 batteries are going to be slightly delayed, at least when it comes to finding their way into the Model Y. Just really, it looks like that they're doing pretty well with it. Looks like the technology is totally fine and there's no issues with it. It's just a new technology and it's going to take a little bit of time. There were, of course, some rumors, and this is not just me, this is several people that have talked about this, that one of the reasons for switching over to the lithium iron phosphate version of the Standard Range Plus was to open up more battery supply for the Model Y that's going to be built at Giga Texas and Giga Berlin. So I do expect that production will happen in those factories before the end of this year, as Elon Musk has talked about in the past and recently talked about. I do believe that's going to happen at Giga Austin and Giga Berlin before the end of this year. I believe they'll be producing Model Ys, but I think it's going to be the Model Y 1.5. As I talked about in a previous video, I believe they're going to initially start with the 2170 battery cells in that new Model Y. So it'll be a 1.5. It'll be built at these new factories, but it's not going to necessarily have the 4680 batteries. However, I do think that as we move into 2022 and shortly thereafter, Tesla will switch over to the structural battery pack. I'm not 100% sure that's going to be the case, and I'm not 100% sure how that'll all work, because I know there are logistical issues and things that I've talked about in the past, that why would Tesla build up the assembly line with an old technology and then have to switch it right over shortly to the new technology. I do agree with that, and that could throw a wrench into that rumor. But I think realistically, the Model Y 2.0, I think it's possible that it could be slightly into 2022, but who knows? I don't have an inside track on that. I really don't know more than anyone else. I'm just going off of what I think here. So hopefully sooner than later. But I think realistically, with supply chain issues, with ramping up a new technology, I think it's possible that could be pushed into 2022, early 2022, but into 2022. Let's see here. Thaddeus Walker, do you think carbon sleeve rotors are going to be premium only, or will they tech scale to the whole fleet? Asking for the Boring Company, which will make high speeds every day common. Because of the Boring Company, that's an interesting little thing. But I don't think the carbon sleeve rotors will be necessary to go high speed. I think Tesla is going to keep that for the Tesla Roadster, and of course for the Plaid Model S. Potentially, since it'll be the same powertrain that's going to be in the Cybertruck, I assume, the Cybertruck Tri-Motor, that it'll probably have that carbon wrapped rotor. I think Tesla has transitioned to where the Model 3 performance, I think it has enough performance for its price class. And I don't really see a reason to throw that same powertrain or a carbon wrapped rotor into the Model 3 or the Model Y. So I think that'll stay as a premium product. Jack Drayden, excellent chat. Elon will surprise Wall Street. Thank you. Yeah, I think Elon always surprises Wall Street. Wall Street doesn't expect what he does. This guy, Teslas don't break down, they value up. That's pretty funny. Thank you, Jose. The Roadster 2.0 is going to get delayed more than Cyberpunk. Can't wait for Cybertruck tri-mode with full self-driving. That's definitely true. Okay, well, I'll come back to chat in just a second, but I did want to talk a little bit about something that I'm going to be doing on this channel just shortly. So a lot of my content has just been geared towards Tesla enthusiasts, which it will continue. I myself am a Tesla enthusiast. I like to talk about Tesla, and I like to talk about other EV brands as well. So I'm always trying to look for other EV brands to talk about as well that I feel strongly about. So I will continue to do that, Tesla related stuff, other EV brands. But something I've been thinking about lately, I've been trying to think about what I want this channel to be, and kind of the main purpose of this channel is not just for Tesla enthusiasts, which it is. It's not just for EV enthusiasts, but I want it to be also for those who are just learning about electric vehicles. I want this channel to be a channel where they can find information. And so I'm going to be putting out some videos in the coming future that are geared towards people that don't know a lot about electric vehicles, or people that do know a decent amount about electric vehicles, but they're not sure about them yet. So I'm going to be doing some new buyer's guides, comparing maybe the Model 3 to the Model Y. I have a video that I'm working on right now for that. I'm talking about which vehicle might be better for you if you're looking in the market for a new electric vehicle. I'm going to be talking about specific buyer's guides, I believe, for different aspects of electric vehicle ownership. I might at some point do some comparisons between buying a Model 3 and some other competitor vehicle. But I really want to encourage electric vehicle adoption, and I think one of the ways is to help those who are transitioning. You know, the truth is, as many great electric vehicles as there are out there in the world right now, it's still, even in the US and better in Europe, and it's better in some other countries, but in the US right now, adoption of electric vehicles is still low single digits. And so there's still a ton of people that have a lot to learn about electric vehicles. So just want to put that out there. Thaddeus Walker, once again, let's see if there's anything else here. So just let me know what you think about that. I also, you know, if you're a Tesla owner right now, or an electric vehicle owner right now, maybe you answered my poll that I put out recently on the community tab. But if you just want to maybe put in the comments section below, what vehicle, if you want to tell me what electric vehicle you have, what you own, and also why you bought that particular vehicle over another. And then if you don't own an electric vehicle, if you're watching this stream, let me know as well. I'd love to hear from you there. So I'll wait just a second here and look at the comment section. I'm going to try to not make this too long, so I'm just going to hang on here for just a couple minutes and see if people have answers to that question. And I'm going to look at the comment section. Anthony Greenlaw, hopefully I'm saying that, Hull. Anthony Greenhall, hopefully I said your name somewhat close. Sorry about that. Why doesn't Tesla add capacitors for low temp regen and also reduce battery cycling, brake regen, and CCL? They could. I know that they have some technology with the Maxwell technology. Of course, they sold the capacitor business back to some of the Maxwell people. They could do that. I don't know why they don't put some capacitors in for low temp regen, or also when your batteries are close to full, to accept some of that regen energy. I'm not sure. Maybe they will in the future. Alonzo 514, no EV yet. Alonzo, I'd love to hear if you are in the market right now, how far in the future you think it will be before you buy an electric vehicle. Things like that are always helpful for me as I create new content. I like to cater it to people that are just beginning their electric vehicle journey. So if you could let me know there. Vipiman, rather than Model 3 and Model Y comparison, it might be more useful to do a cross-manufacturer comparison, for example, Model Y versus Mach-E. Vipiman, yeah, that is important. I agree. And I have done a series of those videos. Do you think it'd be important to redo those videos, not only because a few things have changed, but also maybe more geared towards a new buyer's guide? Or do you think that I should just mention those and point people to those? So let me know what you think there. Thank you for that comment. Appreciate that. Anthony Greenlaw, Tesla Model 3, bought as it had government incentive. Yeah, having a government incentive definitely makes a difference. Dave, I would like a Model 3 Performance. Yeah, me too. I would like a Model 3 Performance, or probably actually more so a Model Y, though. I mean, I love Model 3, but Model Y is really my favorite vehicle right now. Vipamin, also just an overall catch up on EV news across all manufacturers. It is a lot of work, but should broaden your viewership. Yeah, I agree with that. One thing I'm toying with right now. I'm trying not to be a Me Too channel. I appreciate all the news channels that are out there right now. Of course, Tesla Daily is, of course, the classic, and Rob Maurer just does an excellent job. I don't want to be another Rob Maurer. I'm not trying to be. He does an excellent job. There's, of course, several others right now, like Ryan Shaw. Ryan Shaw is doing a great job with Tesla News. There's the Now You Know channel, and there's some great people doing the Tesla News. And so I'm trying to figure out where I fit and where I help the community. And I think one of the ways will be helping new buyers. So, but I'd love to hear more from you guys. So continue that conversation with me. Vipamin, I have seen those videos, but it seemed to be oriented as Tesla biased. It would be nice to see a more neutral comparison. That's good feedback. I'm hoping to be as much neutral as possible. Of course, I have a bias towards Tesla. Naturally, you probably know that watching my content. However, I do appreciate other EVs, and lately I've been trying not to really tear down other companies. Like, not that I was being terrible before, but I feel like I'm trying to be more sensitive to that, because other brands, there's a lot of other good EV brands. And so there's no reason to talk bad about other EV brands. We want to encourage that. So that is something I'm going to try to do in the future. Model 3 too small, SX too expensive. My Model Y is perfect. Yeah, Leo, the Model Y is a great little vehicle. Perfect size and decent price. Maybe, just maybe, I will be able to up-spec the Cybertruck reservation to Plaid variant. That would be pretty exciting. Yvonne, that'd be pretty exciting. Or Ivan. Vipamin, I still enjoy all your videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. Always like that feedback. Kenneth Bonner, I do not own an electric vehicle. Totally understandable. A lot of people don't. Let's see here. Tesla could buy a hug boat, fill it with Teslas, and sell them to Texans in international waters in the Gulf of Mexico. Build a dock restaurant in Boca Chica close to SpaceX, or Houston closer to Giga. Yeah, they could pull some kind of hilarious stunt like that. I think the laws in Texas will change at some point, and Tesla will be able to directly sell Teslas there at some point, hopefully, since they're investing a lot in the factory there, and I'm sure they're going to have some sway in the political system. So, Alonzo 514 agreed. More impartiality helps credibility. I do agree with that. Yeah, it's hard to be credible when you only like one brand. So, what are your guesses, Hypercar Lover? What are your guesses for non-SpaceX Roadster quarter mile? Man, I don't know. So, Plaid Model S, low nines. The regular Roadster, somewhere around that. I think it was 8.9 for the quarter mile. I think that's really difficult. So if you think about shaving 0.8 of a second, if you think about shaving that off just for the 0 to 60, I think that's the biggest portion of where the thrusters will come in handy, because I think where the thrusters are going to come in handy most is for traction. Based on reading between the lines from different comments Elon Musk has mentioned in the past, I think the SpaceX package, yes, it will provide some thrust forward, but I think a lot of it's going to be traction related. I think that's how they're going to use the thrusters. And so, physically, you could have a car capable of going 0 to 60 in 0.5 seconds. Like, that's probably possible at some level. However, because of traction, it doesn't happen. So I think because you can have all the power in the world, but if you just spin your tires, it doesn't matter. You have to have traction. So I think it's probably going to be, it'll only be slightly, about probably 0.8 of a second lower than what other people have done in other super hypercars. So I haven't really paid attention to some of the smallest and fastest quarter mile times ever, but I imagine it's very possible that it could be in the low 8s. So I think we could see a very low 8s. If that's physically possible, we could see a low 8s. It's going to be pretty wild to watch as well. So, but that's my guess. I overbought solar, 62 panels. Need that Cybertruck for all the solar to make sense. Nathan Johnson, true. You might also check with your local utility. I'm not sure if you connected to the utility departments, but some states in the United States, and I don't know about other countries, but you might be able to sell some of the electricity back to your utility. So just a suggestion there. I don't know if you have neighbors. Maybe you could hook up with neighbors and do some kind of partnership there. Dean Levang tried buying Tesla solar panels in Iowa, but Tesla not serving this area. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully they will in the future. So, well, I think that's enough for this stream. It's been good talking to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed just chatting. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. Let me know in the comments. I'll continue to look at comments even after the video is done. And I'd love to hear from you guys about some of the things. So if you're watching this as a rewatch, I'd love to hear your comments on some of the things I talked about in this video. So thank you so much, and that's all for today.